If you've ever told yourself, I just need to figure this out before I can start, this episode's for you. I used to believe success and growth meant having a crystal clear plan, knowing exactly what to do next, and executing it flawlessly. But here's the thing. While I helped my clients take strategic action and even won national awards for my marketing work, I kept myself stuck and my business stuck trying to figure it all out first. And it turns out I should have been taking my own advice this entire time. A lot of people will tell you how to show up online, how to hit 7 figures in 3 days, how to follow their exact cookie cutter method to growth because it worked for them. But today, I'm flipping that around. This isn't about someone else's magic formula. It's about what happens when you already know what to do, but don't trust yourself enough to take your own advice. It's that internal pressure, that disconnect between what you tell others to do and what you actually do for yourself and for your business. And that held me back for years. So in today's episode, I'm breaking down the shifts I made in my business and mindset and what I had to let go of, the lessons I've learned that have changed how I show up, and why trusting yourself and your values is the key to taking action. So if you've been waiting to figure it all out before you show up and before you promote your business, before you show up on camera, this is your sign that clarity, it comes from action. It does not come from overthinking. So let's dive in. I started my business in 2016, and what I do today looks nothing like what I thought it would. When I started, I was building a marketing agency and a consulting business. And you want to know the truth? I never really wanted an agency. I ended up complicating it even more by splitting it. So half of it worked with cannabis businesses and CBD and highly regulated industries on one side, and financial services, higher education, and local businesses on the other. I was helping them with their brand messaging, their visibility, their content marketing, their overall strategy, and social media. And those were all custom projects. And through it all, whether I was working in any of those areas or I was teaching as an adjunct professor, one thing kept appearing. I was really good and I loved helping people show up confidently, take action, and use video to share their message. That was what was helping my clients and students in a way that built connection, that grew their business, that felt good when they showed up. But through it all, here's what I couldn't see. I had put myself in these boxes with labels, right? I was a marketer, a professor, a business owner, a strategist. And all of those individual boxes were keeping me tracked because I felt like I had to show up in different ways for each one of those. And I felt stuck in my business trying to figure out how to market myself and my business while helping others succeed with theirs. Burnt out, overwhelmed, frustrated with my business and with myself, honestly. I did what any good strategist does. I looked for solutions. I analyzed what was holding me back. Why couldn't I take my own advice? What things did I believe to be true that my advice wouldn't work for me? I realized I needed to look beyond marketing, beyond those labels, to break free from those stories I was telling myself, from those boxes and labels I'd created. And that's when I started studying neurolinguistic programming and I became certified as a master NLP practitioner. I dove into understanding behavioral science and motivation and procrastination and the science of confidence and what that takes. Initially, I started looking into all of this and studying this and becoming that expert for myself to help free myself from those labels, from those boxes I put myself in. But then I realized those tools weren't just for me. They weren't just for my mindset. They were the missing pieces for my clients too. I'd been creating solid and frankly amazing marketing strategies for years for clients, and a lot of them weren't implementing them. And it wasn't because the strategies were wrong or weren't created custom for them. It's because they were afraid of showing up, of launching a product in a way that it could be judged as imperfect. They were afraid to put things out there for the same reasons that I was. It was like looking in a mirror. It was the same mindset and confidence barriers, that fear of not being perfect, of being judged, of being an imposter, that kept me from stepping into visibility, and that was holding my clients back too. I realized that helping people with visibility wasn't just about having an amazing marketing strategy. It was giving them the confidence to actually use that strategy and bring their products, bring their business, bring their personal brands to life. Once I realized this connection, everything shifted. I wasn't just a strategist or a marketer. I became more of a teacher, a guide, a coach, a business owner, a whole person who helps others step into their visibility with confidence. And in order to do that, I had to have that confidence and show up as well. So I put my own advice to work finally. And I recognized that disconnect between what I knew and what I was actually doing and what I felt like I had to learn. And I made some serious changes. I let go of certain patterns and beliefs to step into this new integrated approach to helping people with visibility and confidence. Here's the harder part of this video, the 3 things that I had to release and let go of. And honestly, it's a little embarrassing because these are all things I've taught. These are things that people have paid me to advise them on, yet I could not manage to apply them to myself. Do you do this? I know I was doing this. And after years of overwhelm, burnout, and health problems, and feeling stuck in these imaginary boxes as only a marketer, I wanted to burn it down and start fresh. I decided to go bigger, like tear it all down and lean into business strategist as my identity because I was tired of that marketer label. I decided that I should aim higher with my MBA and my experience in business instead of focusing on what I truly love. I love helping people show up and be seen and tell their story and connect and do that on video. And so I brought into my message thinking it would make me happy. Shoot for the stars, right? But it had the opposite effect. It made it harder for people to understand exactly how I could help them. And it took me a long time to realize that helping people get visible in a way that's aligned with them and their goals is a business strategy. It is part of it. So what I replaced that with is owning my lane. I narrowed it down, I focused, and helping people become confident and visible in a way that aligns with their values. I also let go of the need to do it all, and I got clear on my message so people know instantly if I'm the right fit for them. The second thing was compartmentalizing my story. And this is one that I still struggle with, I won't lie. But for the longest time, I kept my health challenges and most of my personal life separate from my business. I hated talking about them because I felt like they weren't relevant. I hated talking about them because I felt like they weren't relevant or because they're always on my mind already. But the reality, that burnout, that overwhelm, those health issues, that's exactly what some of my clients are dealing with too. And the reason I care so much about helping people show up with confidence and ease is because I know what it's like to push through exhaustion, doubt, perfectionism, and procrastination. So what I replaced it with is bringing more of my real journey into my content, not just polished takeaways from corporate world or higher education, but instead focusing on ease and sustainability because showing up shouldn't feel like a constant battle with yourself, and helping others create visibility that works for them without burnout. Amazing feeling. And the third thing was overcomplicating everything. Honestly, I tell my clients all the time to keep it simple. Know your goals, what you do, and who you help. Make it easy and start. Meanwhile, I was breaking all my own rules completely. I'd show up in bursts of consistency and then disappear to analyze, tweak, or figure things out, or take one more class, or double check that I really knew what I was talking about so I knew it 110% before I even started talking about what it is. I spent months perfecting offers I wasn't even sure about before launching them, often without any validation and not sure if anyone actually wanted them. The irony was painful. I was making my own business unnecessarily complicated while helping clients simplify theirs, their message, their offers, their processes. So what I replaced that with is finally giving myself and my business the same attention, advice, and grace that I give my clients. Visibility made simple. Show up, share, connect, and tie it to your goals. Embracing experiments instead of waiting for everything to be perfect first. That way, if I fail, I'm learning from it. I don't worry about it. I just keep going and focus on momentum because perfection is not the goal. Consistent action is. This practice what you preach mindset has been the most challenging but meaningful shift, and it's been the most freeing. What I'm discovering now, I'm not going to call these lessons, but I'm going to call these more of the things that I realized when I look at my values of what I need to do. Number one is working with myself, not against myself. I've spent years fighting against my nature, trying to force myself to work in ways that didn't align with how I actually function. Now I'm creating systems that work with my strengths instead of against them. My personality and my ADHD and the things I deal with when it comes to how I work isn't something I need to overcome. When I structure my business right, those things actually become a strength. Number two, making an impact doesn't have to feel hard. Growing your business doesn't have to be a struggle. This has been an unbelievable shift for me. Effectiveness doesn't require struggle. I can create experiences and work for my clients that can be both fun and make really impactful changes. So the belief that if it's not hard, it's not valuable simply isn't true for me anymore. My best work has always come to me when I did things my way, not following anyone else's templates. And now I'm applying that same philosophy to how I serve clients, creating experiences that make change feel exciting, not overwhelming. And not only am I doing that for them, I'm doing it for myself because I deserve it. And these are the things that are making a big difference for me. Number three, visibility is a practice. It's not a destination. I used to think that I would eventually reach a point where showing up and putting myself on video and talking would feel completely comfortable. That there was some finish line to cross, like it was a race and I'm going to get there. But what I've discovered is that it's an ongoing practice. It's the skill you build, like confidence. And even after years of helping others get visible, I still have moments of hesitation. The difference is that now I recognize those moments as normal parts of growth, not signals to stop. Visibility isn't something you achieve once and you're done. It's something you practice consistently. And number four, leading through demonstration, not just direction. The most powerful shift in my business has been moving from here's what you should do to here's what I'm doing. I'm documenting my journey, the messy parts included. I'm creating a much deeper connection with my audience and clients, like what I tell my clients to do. And this vulnerability has strengthened me, not diminished what I do and the work I do. Remember that people trust someone who's walking the path alongside them more than someone who claims to have it all figured out. Learning to trust myself and the advice I have and to share more than I'm comfortable with has been incredibly challenging, but it's making such a big difference. So after all this, what's next? I'm excited about what's coming. I'm excited about this direction. The shifts that changed everything were really the mindset shifts that have been my guiding principles. And I've gone from getting it right to getting it going. Because as we know, done is better than perfect. And moving against that resistance to get through it has been huge. And figuring out things along the way, not having it all figured out before I start. These shifts, they're not just ideas. They're the foundation of how I approach my business and how I help my clients approach theirs. For my business and my clients, I'm creating experiences that make visibility fun, not frightening. This means more VIP days, more focused on camera confidence, more targeted workshops and boot camps to help business owners and leaders show up on camera with ease. And I'm also experimenting more with transparent content, sharing my journey, not the destination. And this is very challenging for me because I've found, and I continue to find, that when I share the messy middle, that's when people seem to realize that change is possible for them too. And that's part of why I put this episode together, is because we're 3 months into the new year I've launched an entirely new program, my on-camera confidence bootcamp. I've changed everything I've done and pivoted my business more and more to get into something that I really love. And it's gone from something that I was starting to resent into something that I feel really strongly about and truly believe in. And then I have fun. I have fun in my business now. It's been amazing. Send me a message through the podcast or connect on social media, visit my website. Happy to chat with you about this. Let's explore what's possible when you finally take your own advice, when you trust yourself to show up and share your perspective and your opinion and your expertise. Until next time, I'm Kendra Losey, and this is the Invisible to Invincible podcast.